What's up, Chris? Dave,
Yeah.
what's up, dude? Dude, why
Hey,
do
man.
you always schedule these during lunch? Like the social engineer podcast is during lunch.
I think Chris just dipped on you.
Oh my gosh, that's fine. He always does that. What's up, John?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
Good. That's like the story of my life. I start making fun of Chris and he just leaves.
Well, thank you very much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and while Chris is getting logged back in, we're going to announce the giveaway for this hour with Dave and Chris. So for any whiskey fans out there, you'll know that us at the ILF, we love whiskey. Now, unfortunately, due to, laws and regulations, we can't actually give away any whiskey on stream, which is a real shame. But what we can do is give away some awesome custom ILFest 2021 Glencairn glasses. So we're going to be giving away 3 sets of these ILFest Glencairn. So 3 winners are going to walk away with a set of 2 each. And Chris told us this yesterday because Chris has this wonderful habit of being very generous last minute. Thank you, Chris. He threw in a ticket completely paid for, 100% off discount code to attend Human Hacking Conference 2022. So if you want to win Glencairns or if you want to attend Human Hacking Conference 2022 for free, you're going to want to get in on this next giveaway. So go ahead and start getting your bucks in. It can take up to 15 minutes. And Chris is back.
Sorry, Dave.
Dude, what's up with you? What's up, man? That's messed up.
Sorry, man. I don't know. I got booted out. My own team booted me out of the thing.
It's because I started making fun of you.
Yeah. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, well, I was just cooking for ILF.
It's awesome. What were you making? Dude, you look great. You look great, by the way. You look great.
Thank you. Well, I feel awesome, and it's a lot of the thanks to you, man.
Oh, dude, it's all you putting the work in, man.
But you've been a good motivator in all of this, seriously.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Catch up to you.
I can barely hear you, by the way, just FYI.
What, is this the one?
That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah. It was
better?
it was like you were talking to a bad speaker before, maybe a different speaker.
Oh, weird.
You sound good now, though.
Okay. So, what's going on today, man? How's life?
Good. My kids just we got new guinea pigs, Bunny and Betty, about a week or 2 ago, and we just moved them to a different house. So I had to make sure all of that went good and that the kids didn't, lose a guinea pig, which would suck, or the dogs didn't eat a guinea pig. So life of a dad. It's
That would also suck.
Yeah. Well, I was never in favor of getting the guinea pig in the first place, but they're cute. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Guinea pigs aren't like, Oh, wait, John, you got an announcement?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt so fast, but Dave just donated $2,000.
Why? Is this because of the sandwich?
What?
We suck so much.
No, I didn't even know about the sandwich.
So, Dave, Chris, go ahead and tell him about the sandwich that he just donated to because
John, there's nothing. There's no sandwich.
I heard about the sandwich. That's what I agreed to, right? What's the sandwich? I don't know about it.
So every $5,000 that we raise today, Dave, every $5,000, we are going to be adding another ingredient to what is called the sandwich of suffering. Okay. Now, at $50,000, Chris is going to have to eat this abomination. Now, let's just go over what's on the sandwich already. The bread is going to be made from a Domino's slice of pineapple pizza, appropriately.
Of course, absolutely.
The greens for the vegetable component are going to be collard greens.
Yeah.
The cheese is Cheese Whiz.
Oh, good. Yeah.
The sauce is anchovy paste.
Ooh.
And
you
thank
had
you.
me up until the anchovy paste.
Yeah. Well, you just crossed the $20,000 mark for us, so that means we're going to run a poll right now to pick the meat. So everybody check out chat, get your votes in for the meat, because we got a choice between olive oil soaked tuna, we've got liverwurst, or Spam. So I'm going to launch that poll right now.
Don't tell Dave any more about the sandwich because
wait, do I get to pick the ingredient for the sandwich? Or does
everyone gets to pick. So we're going to launch a poll, and it's going to be showing up right in the right. And we are going to launch that right now. The other thing is, Dave, is you are currently our highest donor of the day. And Chris has made it known that the highest donor of the day is going to get a personal, of their choice, home-cooked meal from him.
Oh, really?
So you might want to start thinking about what you want Chris to cook you.
Oh, this is like the worst thing.
700 pounds of Japanese Wagyu steak sounds amazing to me. So
I said within reason.
Oh.
700 pounds of Wagyu steak.
I'll take a whole cow, please.
Someone else, please donate. Anyone.
Wait, I gotta find something that's like incredibly difficult that takes like 6 weeks to prepare.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Can you Google the most difficult dinner to ever make? Like,
okay, oh no, why is Spam winning? Why is liver worse? Why? Come on, guys, tuna and olive oil is disgusting. Yeah, that's really gross.
I don't mind tuna, but tuna when you like mash up like the collard greens and the pizza and everything, that's probably not something that I'd be interested in, to be honest with you. So
I have to eat this sandwich if we raise the money.
I like that.
No one likes that. It's terrible.
I like that, so it's good for me.
So Dave, while we're doing this and I'm suffering, tell us what's going on, man. What's going on with TrustedSec, with binary defense? What's going on in life?
So listen, very fortunate and blessed to be in a position that we're in now. TrustedSec is doing awesome. Binary defense is doing awesome. We're just growing leaps and bounds. Like if anybody's interested in the whole hiring aspects, we just posted a job position. We just closed like 5 different job positions that we're hiring, I think 2 candidates for each one. And then we're about to post a whole nother wave of positions here shortly. So we are growing, we are hiring. We're hiring a number on the binary defense front side. I think there's like 5 or 6 open positions. Some great positions too for folks getting into the industry. I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we run into in this industry is that we talk about how there's this massive deficit of skilled jobs, positions to be filled in the information security industry. You see like estimates of like 900,000 people that are positions that need to be filled or whatever it ends up being. It's some crazy number. The problem is that there's this weird gap in security right now where we have a lot of folks coming out of school, graduation, military, et cetera, and more on the junior side or just getting into the security industry. And then you have a relatively smaller number of seasoned folks that have years of experience in this industry, and there's no middle ground in a lot of this areas. There's no middle areas for folks to hire from. So people want skilled people right now that already are seasoned, that have been have several years of experience, and so it's leaving a lot of these kids and a lot of these younger adults coming into the information security space kind of high and dry. So it's a big problem that we face. We have to really focus on the development of new folks coming into this industry, teaching them the appropriate way and getting them the skills and experience they need so that they can move, to those more skilled positions. But the problem is that, so many security positions are so many security programs are so archaic and have trouble keeping up with everything that's happening out there today, that they need people immediately right now that can come in and help fix and, hit the ground running and fix the issues that these organizations have neglected for years. So it's a huge conundrum that I think we face. And so we just recently announced our junior program at TrustedSec, which, our goal is we're starting off small. So we just brought in, or in the process of bringing in 2 junior level folks, but our goal is to, keep trying that part out and success there and build that up and continuously hire more and more, new folks into the security industry, train them up at TrustedSec, train them up at Binary Defense. We have an internship program at Binary Defense as well. We just hired a candidate over there for our threat intelligence team, get them the skills that they need to bring them into the security industry. And then hopefully they find a home at TrustedSec and Binary Defense. But if they find, a different home somewhere else, they go into that, appropriately skilled to help kind of combat the issues that we're running into today. So, my goal over the next several years is to really build out training curriculum, a recipe for success for training curriculum for new folks coming into the security industry to get trained appropriately and hopefully use that as a template that other companies can use as well to really fix this skills gap shortage that we have, but also make sure that we have some great diversity coming into the industry, new folks coming into the industry, fresh people, really, tackle the issues that we face today. So I'm really excited about that. And that's been, a lot of our times, and, kudos to the team over at TrustedSec and Binary. They're just rocking in and building out those programs and everything else. So really excited about that, which has been a lot of fun.
So let me ask you a couple of questions, Dave, about this, because I was reading an article recently that says there's 526,000 jobs needed just in America in InfoSec. So if you're making a push to hire people that are not experienced, then what do you look for when someone comes to apply for a job at TrustedSec or Binary Defense? Like, what is it that you're searching?
Good question. So a couple of things. One, when we were going through security, Chris, there was no school or college programs dedicated to security.
Yeah.
We had to figure things out on our own. We had to research our own, and the stories behind when you ask people for help. But we won't go into that right now. What's really nice is that there is a lot of great programs out there for colleges. There's also great programs in the military. You look at what's happening with Cyber Command, with the NSA. There's a lot of great areas to get your skill sets developed. But at the end of the day, a college program doesn't mean that you're going to come out ready to hit the ground running. In fact, you're not going to have it like any college position. I have a bachelor's degree. The bachelor's degree gave me some context of what to expect, but I was grossly unprepared to handle what my job profession was going to be in all those different areas. So, coming out of it knowing that you're going to be, a junior to earn your experience to grow in a company, I think is really important. So when you go into it, one of the things that we look for, which is the hardest actually to identify, is that passion. Passion is number one for us. You have a passion to want to learn from other people. You're not egotistical coming in saying, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, grateful for the opportunity. And that goes a long ways, humbleness and being able to work with others, and to be coachable, to be teachable is extremely important. And I think a lot of our newer generation of kids that are coming out really lack the trainability aspect of things. And that's tough, and so, if they come in expecting certain things, that's a turnoff for us when it comes to being able to hire somebody, right off the gate. But you can tell the differences. You look at kids that are coming out of college or school or the military, and you can see like, hey, on my personal time, I sit there and I use Kali Linux and I build virtual machines and I read all of these books and I want to go for my OSCP, or I have gone and got my OSCP, or a different certification that's in the security industry, not necessarily OSCP. There's a lot of other certs out there too. Going that extra mile, publishing, horrible Python code on your GitHub page, but you're so proud of it because it was something that you learned and figured out. It doesn't have to be great. It could be automating something super simple, but just showing that you're taking the initiative to learn on your own. That's the passion that we're looking for. And I'll give you a great example of a story that always resonates with me, because I've done a lot of hiring, throughout my career, both when I at TrustedSec, at Binary Defense, at Diebold, in my prior companies in consulting. And there was an individual that was working in IT. He was a systems administrator for like a 20-person company. Okay, had no security experience at all, and he was local to Cleveland, and we interviewed him. And when we interviewed him, he had zero security experience. But, in his personal time, he was setting up virtual machines. He was, attacking his own network. He was playing with Nessus. And I talked to him, and you can see that he was just so excited to even be in a seat talking to us, that he made it that far because of his own personal drive. Like that spark was like, first of all, he was nervous as all hell. Like he was sweating profusely, and it was the most nervous person I think I've ever met. But the fact that he was there, the fact that he was so appreciative of the potential opportunity, I could see that spark in his eyes. I could see the spark in his personality. And he's like, listen, I will be your hardest worker, period. Like I will learn everything I possibly can from others. I will be a member of the team. I'll collaborate. I'll work with everybody else, and I will be your hardest worker. I guarantee it. And guess what? He is amazing, and he's working for a massive organization right now, in the security department, doing amazing things. His career is fantastic. He is in information security. He's an amazing red teamer. He's gone from being an IT person from a 20-person shop all the way to, the top of his career. And that's what we look for, right? You can see the success in people that want to put the work in. And that's the important part here, and yes, there's a lot of benefits working for a company like TrustedSec or yours. There's a lot of relaxation, come in when you want, leave when you want, as long as you get your work done. There's a lot of responsibility that is put back onto you. And that trust is given to you if you're there to, to put in the time and effort to better yourself in your career. And that's really the difference between, somebody that stands out versus somebody that doesn't. But the thing I'll say about that, Chris, is, you have to have something either on your cover letter or your resume that differentiates you, or you get introduced in a unique way to us. Like, for example, I had a CEO reach out to me like, listen, this kid is amazing. He literally lives and breathes security, even though we don't even do security here. At least just talk to him. I mean, sure. And then you're like, oh, the kid's awesome. He's rocking it, but something's got to stand out, and that passion needs to be experienced. Even if you don't have the experience for that position, showing that passion in your resume. I don't care about, hey, I work for this company and I did this and I did that. What I care about is, hey, here's my GitHub pages. Here's the books that I've read. Here's what I do in my spare time. Here's my hobbies. Hobbies happen to be security, by the way. Those are the things that we look for. They're like, okay, let's talk to this person and let's figure out if they're a good fit, right?
Yeah, I love it. Hey, I have another question, but John, your hand's up, man.
Yeah, so I've got some questions from the audience for you guys. The first one, talking about passion. So I was asked, do you think that passion phases out? And if so, do you think that shouldn't be what you follow for in that field or for organizations?
Well, I think there's a big difference between passion, burnout, and becoming a workaholic, right? There's definitely a big balance between spending time with your family, living your life, especially early on. Those are your best years. Believe me, as you start to get older, things fall apart. Am I right, Chris?
Unfortunately, yes.
Chris and I share, oh my God, my left shoulder is tore this week, or, I can't get out of bed, or, so.
Why are my legs so sore?
Right. It's very different as you get older. So, it doesn't go up. It doesn't continue to go uphill as you get older. Okay. But there's a lot of great things that happen to get older too, but, seeing your kids and everything else. But, there's a big difference between passion and hobby versus, making work your life. And you don't want to make work your life, but you want to put in the work and a little bit of extra work to differentiate you from others. And so, a lot of people that have been successful have made security a hobby. A great example, and this doesn't apply to everybody, but this is just how I worked. When I would go, when I was in the military, I was working for military intelligence. Hacking was still a really new thing for the government. Still is in a lot of cases, but we won't go there. When you look at what I like to do, I knew that security was my profession when I got out. So I spent my nights, hanging out with, unfortunately, folks like Chris, and some great folks like Mutz and others, and learning off of them and kind of building my experience through areas that weren't teachable. And my nights were consumed with that. I loved doing it. So I would code at night or figure out and teach myself programming. I never went to a school to learn programming. I picked up books and learned and figured out how to piece it all together. And even to the point to where, I got married with Aaron, I had kids, I would spend time where I'd go to work, I would do my work, and then I'd come home and I'd code, but I'd spend time with my family. I would spend time eating dinner, and I would, spend time with the kids and have fun. And as soon as they went to bed, Erin likes to watch TV and watch a couple of her shows. I would go and I would program. That was my hobby. I didn't do video games. I didn't do other things. I spent my time, increasing my profession at that time. Now, do I have to do that now? No. But do I still enjoy that? Yes. There are nights where I'll grab a, cup of coffee or a water or whatever, and I just relax and I code, and I have some infected mushroom going on. And that's my hobby. And I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but that's what was successful for me.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that in order for you to be successful that way, to keep that passion, to avoid burnout, is just to have a good, healthy balance between your work and your profession with your hobbies and your family life.
Yeah, balance is extremely important. You do not want to burn out in this industry. It's very hard when you burn out to come back, right? It's like a fight to come back, because your body recognizes that as a negative. And that, you know, and it's overcomable. You know, you take vacations, you relax and stuff like that. And, you know, but try to focus on knowing that there's no way that you as a human being could ever solve every aspect, respond to every email, respond to every single thing that you could possibly. It's just not possible. We are overloaded at any given time with things that we have to do. Focus on what's important, you know, what's important for your career, what's important for the tasks, you know, to progress that career, but don't burn yourself out. Just, you know, recognize that you have to go out and spend time with family. You have to go out and spend time with, you know, your loved ones. You have to go out and spend time on other hobbies that may not be security related. Like, yeah, I'm a scuba diver. I like scuba diving, you know, or, you know, beating Chris on Whoop all the time, whatever it is, those are all benefits, you know, that you can do.
You mean trying to beat me on Whoop?
So here's another great question.
What about that 19.4, Chris?
Okay, so listen, whenever Dave loses, there's always some catastrophe like, oh, my mom was in the hospital, my dog died, I broke my leg. You know, there's always some reason why he lost.
My mom broke her hip.
Whatever, you know, but he always has some excuse of why he loses. But, you know, it's not, I just got to say, it's not always legit. That's all I got to say.
That's awesome.
Did I not take the podcast from the hospital when I was about to get a surgery one time?
Okay, you did. Yes.
So here's another great question for the both of you. What are you both doing to combat discrimination in the field? And why do you think that stereotypically there are fewer women in the field than men?
Chris, you want to go? Do you want me to go? I'm happy to go.
Yeah, I got a good one for this. Can you guys hear me okay, John?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, you're coming through great.
Yeah, okay. So, you know, this is a topic for discussion, I think, amongst our company all the time. And we are about 70% women at our company. And here's the thing that I think is it's easy to jump on Twitter and make comments about social injustices that we see. It's easy to say that you're outraged about all the garbage that's happening in society and in the world. And it's easy to be outraged about it because it's all bad, the way people of color, the way women are treated, not just in this industry. It's easy to be outraged by those things. But saying you're outraged on Twitter doesn't change a dang thing. So we don't do it. You know, like we have a neutrality statement at our company and we don't go public about the things that we see on happening in the world because that doesn't fix anything. Here's how we fix it is we hire women. We hire people of different ethnicities that are not just white. Now, we don't hire them just because they're women or because they're Hispanic or because whatever. We don't do that. We hire people that have the talents that we need, and we don't just look for white men to do it. We look for diversity. When we talk to our recruiters, we say this job is open to men, women, people of color, people not originally from America. We don't care. So our fix for it is not to stand up with a picket sign and say, hey, the world sucks, InfoSec sucks, you guys need to do better. Hey, TrustedSec, you do better. That's not my job, right? Dave's doing a great job, but he also doesn't go on Twitter and complain about all the social injustice. It's the way that Dave and I are fixing the problem is internal by hiring people that are not normally hired for these jobs, and then by keeping them and training them and then saying to them, hey, do you know any other women that would be great at this job? Do you know any other Latinos that'd be great at this job? You know, getting other people in there to help make this problem better, one company at a time. I mean, I'm a tiny company, so I'm not going to make a huge shift in the industry, but as long as social engineer can make a difference and do that, then I feel good about that, right? I have a woman running my education department. I have a woman running my whole conference company, and my senior team leader is a woman. And I didn't do that just because they were women. I did it because those were the best people for that particular job. Yep. So I don't know, Dave, you have something different that you do?
You mirror literally everything that you know is a mission statement for us. You know, one thing that we focus on is, you know, we have at TrustedSec, we have what we call our culture committee, which is made up of a number of different individuals in various different ranks within the organization, women, men, people of color, you name it, all over, you know, a broad spectrum. And one of our main core instances for our culture committee is diversity, right? And how do we get more folks into the security industry? And I think, historically, when you think of a computer nerd, it's traditionally been, historically a white male in the basement of his house, and that's kind of how the field started off with. But I think the formalization of, and by the way, that's a generalization that I just want to say is wrong. It's just typically what people think. And that needs to change, right? And it has been changing substantially. If you look at when we had DerbyCon 1 versus, our very final DerbyCon, it was amazing to see how many women were there, how many people of color were there, right? The industry is definitely changing for the better. And I want to continue to hire more. The more diversity that we have, the better. And that's why we've gone international too. Where we hire international folks, doesn't need to be in the United States. It's an amazing effort. I think I think a lot of great folks are fighting that battle. But to Chris's point, some of the most vocal people, that are fighting these or complaining about, I guess, or on social media, you look at their company and 100% of it is male, white dominated, right? And they're not making a change, not making a difference in that aspect. It's more talk and fluff than it is anything else. And our focus is, listen, we're going to make those changes. We're going to impact the industry in a better way. We're going to hire more diverse workforces in our industry because it's the right thing to do. And frankly, the more diverse you are, the better perspectives you have on things, the better your company operates. The better your values are as an organization. All of those things are important aspects for all of us. So, at least from my perspective, and exactly mirroring what Chris said, actions speak louder than words, as the old saying goes. And we'll continue to hire. We just hired 2 women on the TrustedSec side as of Friday. We just hired our first, not first woman internship, but our first intern over at Binary Fence was a woman. We will continue to hire that as much as possible. And again, it's not because they're a woman or their skin's a specific color. It's because they're qualified for that position. And guess what? Pay is equal. There's no, there's what's the term? The ceiling. You're on mute, Chris. It's the glass ceiling. Glass ceiling. There's none of that. We look at your skills, your qualifications, where you're at. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Your pay is going to be equatable to your skills and experience. That's really important for us. All of that is, we have women in leadership. We have women throughout our entire organization. We have, folks that are seniors and principals that, are people of color. We don't, it's a normality for us. It's completely normal, working operation as it goes. And I think we really need to work on that all together in security. It's not just our industry, it's all across the board, but we can definitely make a change and impact where we have in our small businesses that we have, Chris.
Well, that's great. Thank you guys for answering those questions. I'll get back to chatting.
Yeah.
So Dave, one of the questions, sorry, Mike, it's me, I keep moving. One of the questions I had that has not much to do with InfoSec is, I'm going to ask it. It's going to be a long way of asking it because I'm going to tell a little story. I really hate saying nice things about you, but there's no way to do this without saying nice things. You motivated the heck out of me. I was over 300 pounds. I was tired all the time. I was just not feeling great about my health. And you started making all these changes. And I to be honest, I'm going to tell the story. I reached out to you thinking, okay, this is just going to give him fuel for more pranks. And you only pranked me once, but it was legitimate. And that was when I was in the hospital under anesthesia. And then you told me that all of your stuff was fake and I fell for it. But that was the only time. But we could tell that story later. But you took a lot of time to walk me through your journey from being similar. We're the same height. We were the same weight. We were both over 300. And now, I don't know if you, hopefully you don't, well, do you care if I say how much you weigh?
No, go for it.
You're like 220 and you look like a superhero. It's ridiculous. Your arms are huge. You're just like the transformation. Why? Like, was there a motivator? What started it? What made you say, I need to do something?
Yeah. First and foremost, listen, I'm a guy, right? And guys typically do not talk about their health. They don't go to the doctors, generalization, of course, but we're this mentality of, we're guys, we're going to be fine. Don't worry. And statistically, I was listening to a podcast. I listened to it's an over 40 men's health podcast on Spotify, and they had a woman doctor come in and talk about men's health. And she said that 75% of her patients that are men are driven by their spouses telling them to go to the doctor. And so, men typically don't focus on their health as part of their day-to-day aspect of things. It's just, we're accustomed to, hey, we have a dad bod. It's fine. Especially as we get older, we let it go. It's just how it works. It's how our uncles did it. It's how our grandfathers did it. It's how our dads did it. And the truth of the matter is that, our health, our body, and our longevity of age is all under our control. And I've heard excuses like, oh, you're just big boned, or your metabolism is slow, or,
I said that to myself.
Yeah, same here. Dude, I remember looking at pictures of me. Well, let me rephrase this. I remember when I was at Diebold, I remember sitting in my office, and I remember saying, I look pretty good. I'm not overweight. I feel good about myself. I was 315 pounds. And I look at a picture of myself and I'm like, I look great. There's nothing to worry about. I was wearing a 2XL, shirts, and everything was fine. And I look back at that now, I'm like, my God, I was obese. I was extremely overweight, and I did not take care of myself. And guess what? I had heart surgery because of my weight. I had a number of health problems as things were going along. And guess what? I wasn't going to be there for my kids. And I knew that was the case, and that I had to make a change. Right. And there was an epiphany that happened, and this is about 2013 is when this epiphany kind of happened, where I knew I kind of needed to take care of my life. And so I went through, a surgery called the gastric sleeve, which, shrinks your stomach, and it's a surgery procedure. I had tried, by the way, prior to that, I had tried every diet known to man. I had tried every workout plan. I was doing insanity. Aaron can tell you, when I was at DerbyCon, I'd be up in the hotel room working out, and I would drop, 5 or 10 pounds, and I would gain 15 or 20 pounds. And it was this constant battle with myself that I was not winning. And so I decided to do the gastric sleeve. And this was about 2013. And one thing that I didn't do with the gastric sleeve is I didn't still take care of myself. They teach you aspects of nutrition and stuff like that, but you don't really understand what they're teaching you, is the best way of explaining it. And so I got the gastric sleeve done, and the gastric sleeve is just a tool. So I dropped a ton of weight. I think my lowest weight, I was at like 185, and I was like sticking bones. Aaron was complaining I was just bony, and I looked like
I remember.
A skeleton. Yeah. And what progressively happened though is, over time, that gastric sleeve starts to expand a little bit more, and I started gaining weight, and I started gaining more and more weight, and I started, disliking myself again, and I was back into that unhealthy eating lifestyle. I was eating, junk.
Dave, I apologize. I don't want to cut you off, but we just had someone drop $5,000 in the stream. So we just had a $5,000 donation come in from Chris Sanders. So Chris Hadnagy, you have a new Chris to be cooking for.
What?
Chris.
What?
Chris is awesome. Nice job, Chris.
Well, so Chris, Chris Sanders, congratulations, because you, sir, just put us over 25K. So we just hit 50% of our goal, and we now get to add insects to the sandwich of suffering. So look out for that poll. We're going to pick some killer insects to go on this sandwich. Thank you so much, Chris. And I apologize for interrupting, but I just had to shout that to everybody, because that is incredible.
Nice job, Chris. That's awesome on you, man. Seriously, that's incredible.
I want to be happy. I love you, Chris, but thank you. No, oh, dang it.
Did we say we're putting insects on the food? Like,
yeah, they have crickets, grasshoppers, or earthworm jerky.
No, the earthworm jerky is coming later, so that's a sneak peek. But we have the choice now of crickets, grasshoppers, or silkworm papaye. I don't know how to say that. Silkworms, though.
Yeah, basically silkworms.
Sounds like fun. Well, good luck, buddy. Glad it's not me.
Yeah.
Chris, shout out to you, man. It's very humbling, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna spit in your dinner when I make it. Anyhow.
Anyways, I was going back up the weight.
So
I was unhappy with myself. I knew I was back in unhealthy style, and it's actually hit me really bad during COVID, because again, I had tried keto, I had tried intermittent fasting, I had tried all these diets, and everybody hears diets. And I think that the change in me really hit. I don't ever want to go back to who I was before, the 315 pounds. Right. And it was a fear, a scare of that. And so literally I flipped a switch in my brain and I said, I will never go back to that again. And I started working out routinely. I started eating healthier, even though I didn't really know what that meant. But the most important aspect of my whole program is when I met my personal trainer, Ben Canning, which, obviously you're familiar, Chris, is a disciple of Ben now. But what really changed, what really changed is I found somebody that cared about me, about my health, and that I could learn from as an individual, because I didn't feel like I was taught the right things. Even being in the Marines and everything else, the Marines, great example. I was skinny, I was great in the Marines, but I was eating, 3, 4, 5,000 calories a day because of all the work I was doing. But they don't give you the tools of what happens as soon as you get out of the military. So you see all these military folks are in great shape. As soon as they get out, boom, they skyrocket to 300, 400, 500 pounds because they can't control the same type of eating lifestyle when you're doing a lot less activity. And so, Ben really taught me the foundation principles of nutrition, macro breakdowns, understanding my body, understanding that it's not slow metabolism, it's how your body works. You have to figure out, how many calories you're putting in versus how many calories you're going out, and then putting me in a structured program that I could really train and that was obtainable. And, it didn't come with its, struggles. When you start these programs, you're like, hey, it's been 1 week and I don't notice the difference. Well, guess what? It's taking you years to get to that point of where you're at now. It's going to take you years to get to a point to where you want to be, right? You carve your body the way that you want to, but it takes time to get there. And so, knowing that it was doable and that, and I remember sending Ben a picture of, it was one of the trainers that I had on my tonal gym that I have. And I'm like, I want to look like that. And he's like, we'll get there. Let's do it. Let's figure out how to get there. We're going to do it. And you're going to be successful. And the fact that that was even possible for me to do, which I never thought it would be, and I'm getting to that point now, is just an amazing experience. And I will never go back to that again. The lifestyle that I have now, it is ingrained in my brain. It's ingrained in how I eat. It's ingrained in how I do everything. A good example, yesterday, I had Taco Bell for the first time in, I think, 8 months. Aaron and I went to,
Ben. Yeah. I'm telling Ben. I'm telling him.
Listen, but you're going to hear the second story of this. So I was I had a great breakfast, great lunch. I had a great dinner, and it was late at night. Aaron and I did a date night, and we went to the casino and stuff like that. I hate the casino, by the way, but she loves going there, so I'll go for her. Broke even, which, hey, that's a great thing. And on the way back, I'm like, man, I really am starving. I'm like, I need to eat something because it's been like 5 hours and I hadn't eaten anything. And so I looked at my macro breakdown, and I was like, okay, well, I still have 900 calories to go. I can get 3 soft taco supremes. I still get my, protein intake. I'm hitting my protein intake. I'm hitting all my macros for carbohydrates and everything else. It's perfectly fine for me to eat. Didn't break my bank. I'm still burning those calories of what I would eat in a regular basis. And I still stay within the confines of what I can eat. Same thing. I had Skyline chili the other day, but I don't eat, a 3-way and 4 Coney dogs. I'll have 2 Coney dogs and that's it. And I'll eat something healthy the rest of the day. So, it's a matter of balancing what you eat versus rewarding yourself with food. And rewarding yourself with food is not the right approach. Eating for your body to have the right nutrients, to build the right components of your body to operate is what we need to be focusing on. And it's obtainable for anybody. Seriously, if you're struggling with weight, you're struggling with health, all of this stuff is possible. Chris, you're a prime testament. And I really wish I had known Chris prior to me getting the gastric sleeve, as I was going through it personally, because my process, I think, would have been a lot better than kind of the ups and downs that I had. Being able to control my weight and to be able to control everything that's going on. It was just, I wish I would have had somebody like Ben, but, Ben's helped, you from, just knocking it off to, Scott, another individual I know, Jason, a few other folks, a lot of folks have had some great success with those types of structured programs, that didn't necessarily go the same approach that I did or whatever, but it's just, I wish I would have had those building blocks in place as I did those, because it just been so beneficial.
I know. I like your experience, as bad as it was for you up and down, was major for me, because I didn't have to go through. I mean, literally, I started this journey in February 1st, and I'm already down 80 pounds.
Incredible.
80 dang pounds,
Dude, you look fantastic.
That's ridiculous to me.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. I feel fantastic.
And I don't like to
I'm
give
working
you a
out
compliment,
4 days a week. I'm working out 4 days a week. I'm walking 85,000 steps minimum a week. It's like, it's ridiculous. And I love it. And I don't dread it. I don't look at the days and go, oh my God. I remember when I started with Ben, I said to him, I don't know how I'm going to fit this in my schedule. I'm so busy. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And he just said, what can you give me? And I said, 2 days a week is all I can do for 30 minutes. He goes, okay. And I was like, what? Wait, you're not going to yell at me? You're not going to tell me I'm a loser? He's like, no, let's do 2 days, 30. So I did that. And 2 weeks into it, I'm like, you know what? I could do 3 days and I could do 40 minutes for 3 days. And he's like, okay. And he gave me 3 days. And then I remember I was in the chat with you and Scott and everyone's talking about how they work out 4 days a week. And I'm like, you know what? I pinged Ben. I'm like, I think I could do a 4th day. And he's like, okay. And it was just like that easy. He just kept adding to it every time I was ready, instead of him saying to me, you need to do this, you need to do this. And then he would check on me. He'd be like, hey, how's that 4th day? Are you okay? Like, how's your shoulder? How's your leg? How's this? How's that? And it's like impossible to not make progress with someone like him on your side.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
impossible.
It's crazy. Like, when I went into this with Ben, I was looking for a personal trainer because I knew that I couldn't do it myself. I was looking for help. Right. And it was almost like a message from God or something like that, like one of those moments, because I was looking for a personal trainer. I hadn't posted anything on anything. And I was part of this Facebook group called Dad Bod Transformation, which is a bunch of dads and, that are focusing on fitness as part of their goals. And so I learned a lot from those folks. And he had seen some of my posts on there. And so he friend requested me to see if, or not from that post, but he had, messaged me asking like, hey, is there anything I can help you with? And he wasn't asking to be my trainer. He was asking just to help me. And I happened to take a look at his profile picture. I'm like, oh, he's a personal trainer. I'm like, actually, this is really good coincidence. Like I'm actually looking for a personal trainer. And I couldn't find anybody that was like him. Like, somebody that can text at 2:00 in the morning when I'm doing a workout or whatever it ends up being, like he's literally the type of person you can, send any question you have, or when you're having a really crummy day. Like I sent him messages like, man, I'm feeling, like I'm not making any progress today. I'm down on myself. He's like, dude, take a break, take a day off, hit the ground running next day. And let's figure this out, and we all go through those cycles. And he's just that type of guy that, is just, cares about every aspect of that and will build that program towards you. And there were times where you like, listen, I didn't know him well personally yet. And you have to like literally blind trust that this person knows what you're doing. And this is a huge, huge investment from a time perspective, and if you're giving this everything and it fails, you're going to look at that for the rest of your life and say, I'm not able to do this. Right. It's that critical of finding somebody that will do that for you. And so there were times where I'm like, man, I don't know if Ben knows what he's doing, like, cause like he would up my calories and I'm like, but I want to lose weight. He's like, no, you don't want to lose weight. I'm like, he's like, you're already at a great weight. He's like, you want to build your muscle and your only way you're going to do that is by eating more food. I'm like, that makes no sense. I'm like, why would I eat more food when I'm used to being big? And you mentioned 220. And if you would have said 220 to me 6 months ago, I would have been like, I need a hardcore diet. I need to get back down to 200. No, I'm gaining weight now. And I'm proud of gaining weight right now because I'm gaining muscle. Like I am the most muscular I've ever been in my entire life. And I continue to add more muscle and I continue to increase my calories. Like I'm eating 3,000 calories a day and it's not enough. Like it's not enough. I'm losing weight because I'm not eating enough calories. So we're bumping up calories every single week, slowly but surely, to find that balance point. It's like, I would have never thought I would have been in this position. And it requires a lot of trust, but it's something that is obtainable from anybody. Anybody can do exactly what I did or what you're doing or what Scott's doing or anybody else. It's possible for anybody. You're on mute, Chris. Chris, you're on mute, buddy. Yeah. Computers are hard, man. I know. What are you doing? You're still on mute. I can't hear you.
How about now?
Okay, you're good, but you're using a different speaker now.
I am. I don't know what's happened. I think my headphones died.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So is it better or worse?
It's worse, but it's still listenable, I guess. I mean, as much as you are listenable in normal, capacity. But
is that better or no?
It's better.
Okay. What I love about it with Ben, is the difference. Like Scott, Scott he wants to run a marathon. So like Ben is working with him on endurance, and I want to lose weight but gain muscle, and you want to turn into Thor, and it's like he's working with each person and the goals, and he and he helps set those goals, and I love it. But what really got me with him, because I had the same exact experience you did. Like when he first started, I was like, I don't know, man, this guy's giving me exercises that seem to be the same thing with different names. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would I do 3 of these right in a row? And I called him out. I was like, come on, explain this to me. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I know you know more than me, but why? And he took time to sit down on a phone call and explain to me everything. And I'm like, I'm a moron. Okay, I'll never question you again. You say do it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing how it all comes together.
He doesn't say things like, oh, you're never allowed to have a drink, or boy, if you eat that piece of cake, you're a sinner. He's like, do it. Just don't do it every day. And if you want a slice of pizza, great. Don't have 5, and it's like the balance is what I think is needed. Needed for me.
It's crazy. I remember having a phone call with him, and it was like a Sunday where I went over my calories, right? And it was like I had everybody over. I was cooking pulled pork and ribs and all this other stuff, and so I had a couple beers, and I had some and I went over my calorie allowance. It was a bad day. I went over by like 500 or 600 calories or something like that. And I called Ben the next day, and I'm just like, dude, I'm miserable. Like, I totally wrecked my calories. I feel like a total failure. He's like, dude, hopefully that you should have those types of days, here and there, and that it's gonna happen. You should enjoy your life and you should eat. But he's like, just don't make it a regular habit or routine. You're fine. Like, just go back to doing what you're doing. You're kicking butt and you're doing amazing results. Like, what's one day? It's not gonna kick your butt. Just go back to what you're doing now, right? And I'm like, that makes sense. It's not a one-day thing.
Right.
But when you make it a 2-day thing or a 3-day thing or a 4-day thing, now it becomes a month thing or a 2-month thing or a 4-month thing. That's when you get into these problems, right? Your body doesn't care one day. You didn't get to the point that you're at today from one day of one poor day of eating. You got to that point because it was a historical way of you handling, eating food, eating too much food, or eating the wrong foods, that got you to the point today. And it all comes down to food. It's food. Like, it's literally food. You can eat horrible stuff all day long and still build the same type of body I can, as long as you're staying within the appropriate balance of what you need and what your body needs, right? Yeah. You can't eat 6,000 calories. Yeah, you might eat 2,100 calories, and maybe it's junk food, but it's still going to be 2,100 calories your body uses. Now, granted, you need protein for your muscles and everything else, and there's things that break into that. But at the end of the day, it's all about focusing on you and what you can eat versus what you put out.
Hey, John, before you make an announcement, at least say one thing. I see in the comments on Twitch, there's a bunch of people saying, help me, I need this. I'm not going to speak for Dave, but I'll speak for me. Reach out to me. I learned so much from Dave. I mean, he took so much time to help me on this journey. I will gladly repay that to anybody. If somebody needs help and you're really serious about getting your health, reach out to me.
Yeah. I mean it. One thing to add to that too, I help a number of folks, both through social media, on Facebook, or emails, that have questions or need help. I will do the exact same thing. Yeah. One thing I would recommend, if you want to get started in taking this journey, which is, I promise you it's doable. Like, you may have failed all these other times and you may feel like you can never do it. It's not about diets. Do not do a diet. Do not do keto. Do not do intermittent fasting. Yes, if you want to do it to lose, some initial weight, but it is not a long-term solution for the rest of your life. Do not focus on diets. It's not going to be successful for you. 95% of people that go on diets fail. Some people, you see success stories of some people on keto. That's great. But I'm telling you right now, you're most likely going to fail. Put a program in place that you can live for the rest of your life, and check out. I documented my entire experience from start to finish, everything from nutrients, how you track your food, what you should be doing, how do you calculate how many calories you should be having, stuff that I didn't know existed about my body. That was just eye-opening and changed my entire life for the future. Look up Hacking Health, A Journey to Live Longer by Hacking Dave, or just look up Hacking Dave Medium, and you'll find my post there. It's about a 35 to 40 minute read. So, get a beer or something like that before you kick off your journey. But it's important to run through that, but most importantly, focus on the nutrition aspects of things. It will change your life. I guarantee it.
Let me get a link. Hey, John, why don't you make the announcement, and I'll find the link and post it.
Absolutely. Thank you. And first of all, that is both of you. That is super amazing. Very, very incredible journeys both of you have taken. And that's just super commendable. I love it. And even just the balanced viewpoint you guys have and just the positive attitude. It's fantastic. All right, so that link is in chat to what Dave was just talking about. I just want to let everybody know we have only 2 minutes left. Just under 2 minutes left to get in on this giveaway. If you want to win ILFest Glencairns or an entirely 100% off Human Hacking Conference code.
Yes.
So get them in if you need them. We only got 2 minutes left. I'm going to let you guys wrap up, and then in just a couple minutes, I will be back on to announce the winner of that, make an announcement for our next session.
In the spirit of being with Dave, I haven't done this publicly. I haven't posted it, but I started at 3:15 and I'm at 2:38 today. Yeah, man.
It's your hard work and effort, Chris. Congratulations.
And that's the first time I'm publicly saying my weight anywhere, and I can't believe it.
You're 10 pounds away from me. It's crazy.
I was at a gym in a hotel 2 days ago. I had to travel, and I don't have any mirrors in my home gym, and I hate looking at myself. I still do. I still feel like Fat Chris, you know? And I was standing in front of the mirror working out, and I saw myself, and I'm like, I gotta take this picture. And I took this picture and I sent it to my family, and I'm like, holy crap. Like, that's me. Like, that's not me. That's holy mackerel. Like, it shocked me. I was like, I looked at myself and went, I'm actually not huge anymore. Like, it was just so weird to see it. But thank you, Dave, for the motivation. Thanks for the help along the way. I mean it. I've learned life lessons, not just about health, but even in business, and just everything has helped because of the health.
My only goal in life is to help other folks, and to see people with success like this is all the value that I get is the value I get from that, seeing your success, seeing the success of others, both from a security industry perspective of individuals, as well as, their health, their families. If there's anything that I can help out with, that's what I'm here for. And that's what I love doing. That's my passion in life, is trying to make the world a better place. And I'm really proud of you, Chris. Seriously, you've done amazing stuff. Last thing I'll part with is, men, get your head out of your butts, go see a doctor, get some blood work done, see what's causing issues that you're experiencing. If you're experiencing brain fog, sluggishness, weight gain, all of these things, they're symptoms of a problem that you can absolutely fix. Yeah. Blood work usually helps. If you're over 30, especially mid to late 30s, check your testosterone levels. That's really, really important. Men, as they hit their age of 30 and above, lose a substantial amount of percentage of testosterone per year. And that is a major hindrance for us as men as we get older. So check that out. I'm on testosterone replacement therapy. I have what's called hypogonadism, which is, I lack the production of testosterone, which was causing, lack of energy, lack of ability to regulate my body weight, a lot of other issues too. Build body mass obviously is one, but my overall general health and energy was literally changed overnight with that. And so, those are things that you need to look at from your body perspective to get better. And women, obviously, same thing. Estrogen is extremely important. It's not just a men thing from a testosterone replacement perspective. Get your blood work done, and see what you can do to make changes incrementally in your life for the better. As you get older, doesn't mean you have to feel like crap every day. I wake up feeling great. Granted, I feel, pains and aches, but other than that, I'm good. So.
What I love about it is to mirror everything Dave said is I was waking up every day feeling like crap. I was waking up tired every day, like feeling like, oh, another day. And I would sleep and wake up not rested. And just some minor changes. And I wake up now and I'm ready for work. Dave and I always compete about everything, but I'm telling you, that competition is a huge piece of my life right now, because a long day will be finished, and I'll look at Red Team Fit and I'll see, crap, he's going to beat me in steps. Like, I got to do something, and I'll just jump on my treadmill and walk like 5,000 steps because I don't want him to beat me.
We've literally been sending updates every 20 minutes to each other about like, hey, I'm 200 steps ahead of you. He's like, son of a, and there's times where I've waited for Chris to go to bed right before midnight. so that I could beat him on Woob. So yeah.
I was
That
once
is
sitting
awesome.
at the
I
table.
love that so much.
I'm sitting at the dining room table with my family. He texted me a picture of his steps, and I was 14 steps off. I got up and ran through my dining room just to beat him, just to say I could beat him.
Hey, that's awesome. That's that positive peer pressure, like good competition, right?
That's right. That's right.
And I just want to say for both of you, and I know I mirror the chat. If you guys have seen any of the chat, that everyone here just respects the hell out of both of you. Nice job. Keep it up. Thank you for everything you do for the community.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. And please donate to Innocent Lives Foundation. Amazing, noble cause in getting some bad folks off the street. A testament to you, Chris, and the entire team that works with you there. Incredible group of individuals, and we'll continue to help out any way that we can.
Yeah. And thank you for your donations, Dave. They've been very generous and very helpful. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right, let's get on to the fun.
On everything, bro. On
Good luck.
everything. Your business, everything. Awesome.
Thank you, buddy. Back at you. See you guys.